There has long been a critical need in the Army National Guard for soldiers that can communicate in foreign languages. From establishing and building relationships with foreign partners to gathering intelligence on enemy activities, soldiers that are fluent in foreign languages play a crucial role in mission success. To obtain the skills needed to fulfill that role, Army National Guard soldiers are sent here to the Defense Language Institute Foreign Language Center in Monterey, California. Specializing in culturally based foreign language education, this highly renowned facility trains service members from all branches to become proficient users of their target language.
November 1941, we were created as anticipation of possible conflict with the Japanese Empire at that time. And so originally started out as a mechanism to train people that had Japanese language skills how to be interpreters and translators. But that modified over time and became much more of a school to teach language to people that didn't have that language skill.
The program is intense and designed to take service members that know nothing of their target language to near native speaking fluency in as short amount of time as possible. To achieve that goal, the instructors immediately immerse the students into the language and culture they have been sent here to study.
The first day it definitely kind of hits you in the face because there's no introduction, hi, icebreaker. You're going right into the alphabet. You're going right into pronunciation.
When we first showed up, our teachers almost immediately started speaking in Farsi and were showing us the alphabet and the letters, and it's unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
Our courses here are 6 to 7 hours a day for 5 days a week with 2 to 3 hours of homework. And it's the only thing you're studying, so it's incredibly intense. However, that intensity will help us get students to a very high level of language proficiency in a short amount of time.
It's like trying to drink from a fire hose. It's definitely a ridiculously high volume of vocabulary words every day. Constantly learning new grammar concepts, and then that's only half the course. The other half is learning and understanding the culture behind and around the language that you're learning in order to contextualize the expressions and understand the culture that goes along with the language.
That cultural aspect is one of the things that sets the program here apart. To make sure the students fully understand the nuances of the language they are studying, the Defense Language Institute uses instructors that have a unique advantage.
About 98% plus of our instructors are native speakers of the languages they teach. They come from, I think on last count, close to 90 plus countries around the world. And so they're native speakers of the language, but they are also obviously subject matter experts of that country, which you've got to couple the two.
I think it's extremely important that they have native speaking teachers here because they're not just teaching us from the book, they're not just teaching us lessons from university, but they're able to give us their personal experience maybe from being in the country, the jokes that they know, the idioms that they know, and really teach us the culture with the language and not just the language itself.
Being able to understand the culture, understand the history, the sociology of the people that speak that language is incredibly important, especially when you're trying to reach higher proficiency levels. Just reciting the facts, knowing the who, what, where, when, why, that's okay. But we're trying to get our graduates to the point where they can read between the lines, they understand humor, they understand argumentation. They really begin to anticipate where the language is leading a discussion.
The instructors expose their students to all aspects of their native cultures and encourage them to dive deep into the day-to-day lives of the people living in them.
Pretty early on, our teachers emphasized trying to listen to Persian music or trying Persian food or things of that nature. And probably since like week 2, I've listened to music in Farsi almost every day. And I found that I am able to notice the different ways that somebody says things, the different ways they structure their sentences in their music, and even just learning words I never knew before by hearing a word in a song and looking it up, and learning about their own celebrities and cultural icons. It all ties in together overall.
That gives you the chance to put your language into practice and to observe the courtesies and customs connected to the language you're learning in a real way that brings home the utility of the language and how it's going to be applied.
Learning more than just words, it keeps us activated in class, right? We're not just opening a dictionary and learning the words of the day. We're taking those words and we're finding them in the news. We're taking words, maybe we're learning about cooking, and we're identifying food products in our home. We're applying the language that we're learning every single day in class and outside of class.
After graduation, most of the service members coming through the Defense Language Institute will go on to work in some form of military intelligence, as either 35 Mikes, human intelligence collectors, or 35 Papas, cryptologic linguists. They will work to provide intelligence to command through interrogations, monitoring and translating foreign communications, and using their new language ability to give their fellow soldiers an edge. The skills they obtain will also help them further down the road, making them highly qualified for employment with government agencies, law enforcement, and as analysts and communicators for companies that have interests with foreign partners.
My county has a massive population of communities from Mexico, all over Central and South America. And those people need my help as much as everyone else in my county. And the ability for me to be able to communicate in their language, to understand their backstory, the challenges and the difficulties, and many times the fears that they have in their language is a huge comfort to be able to communicate what I need to the people that I serve.
There are a lot of different fields that it can be utilized in for tech companies or any other company that might have a relationship with foreign nations. It kind of just goes all over the place.
With language in general, with communication in general, being able to communicate to a whole new group of other people is going to, open up doors for you well into the future. It's going to take you on a unique adventure that you're not going to get anywhere else.
These Army National Guard soldiers will leave here to continue their part-time service, having accomplished one of the most difficult tasks any service member can attempt. They carry with them the confidence of knowing that they have gained knowledge and understanding of a whole new culture, and that they stand out among their peers to future employers. To find out more about the language opportunities and all the other benefits of serving part-time in the Army National Guard, visit nationalguard.com.